going on, Jerome's? It is Packers week. It is a beautiful Friday. Birds are chirping and stuff, and it's time for another Vikings news dump. So this is it. Like, this is the game. This is the equivalent of Michigan, Ohio State. Not really, right? Because it played twice. But Vikings at Lambeau, and I was considering going to Lambeau for the game. There was a contingent of my jabroni friends who were going out there, but can't do it. Just can't do it. So people have asked, like, you want to go to a game? How about we go to a game? Blah, blah, blah. But I like being here. You want me on this wall. You need me on this wall. And it's not just because we do a halftime show or a post-game show really quick, or we try to be quick. Sometimes we're slow. But so we got a couple TVs here, able to watch the early games, the late games, sweat my fantasy teams, a couple of jelly beans. That's what I do, man. That's what I do. All right. So I've been to Lambeau. There's nothing to write home about. Although, so there was a house that was for sale right near Lambeau, and didn't look like an HOA house. Looked like a normal house, right? I wanted to buy it, and I wanted it to turn it into the most gaudy purple and gold, a sight to behold, Vikings house. Bah! Like, I would have paid for purple shingles, and turn it just into a Vikings fan oasis. Because it was right next to the stadium. It would just been glorious. Absolutely glorious. Yet I dream. Hey, if this channel actually takes off, or there's a couple of things in the Venmo, it's Friday after all, we're going to do that. Maybe we could crowdfund that, because that would be freaking awesome. That'd be great, man. Anyways, injury report came out on Thursday. Didn't get around to putting a video out because Daddy was out winning the day. Actually, we're getting Korean barbecue. Saw a couple of Jeromes. Hey, what's up? So, for the Vikings, Packers, it's whatever. I mean, Jordan Morgan probably not going to play. But for the Vikings, a couple things to note. So, Jaire did not practice Thursday due to an illness. Get down with the sickness. Ivan Pace Jr. DNP'd again with the ankle. So, Garrett Bradbury went from DNP Wednesday to limited on Thursday, so it's good for a progression. It's noteworthy that he went from knee to ankle, but also this could be part and parcel of veteran rest as well. Dallas Turner, good news, went from limited to full on Thursday. He looks to be in line to play against the Packers on Sunday. Also, Jonathan Bullard went from limited on Wednesday to DNP on Thursday. I don't know if that was a downgrade due to swelling or anything bad with that knee, or if it's just another veteran rest day. Again, I honestly wish that the Vikings would just list veteran rest, but maybe us having some consternation with the injury report and other teams having to do that too. But either way, the Packers can run the ball, and Bullard is one of the better Vikings run defenders, so absolutely would need him. So some player that we didn't need. It's unfortunate. Yeah. So Andrew Booth Jr. With the Dallas Cowboys, with their guy Mike Zimmer, he did not have a good day trying to cover Malik Neighbors. But hey, Giants, you didn't win, but you covered the 5.5, and for that we thank you. All it took for us to cover the 5.5 was Brandon Aubrey shanking a 50-yarder. Thank you. Yeah. Also, thank you is I love when fathers and sons spend some quality time together. So Jaire Alexander, son of Justin friggin' Jefferson, they're going to be reunited, and the Cats in the Cradle and Silver Spoon this weekend. And it was so funny. So, of course, the Jefferson and Jaire thing, it's much more about Jaire. Like, I don't think Jefferson really cares, and he said as much. And this is like a stone cold, like completely dominating Jaire, both on the field and just with this comment. Jeff Waldfoxstein, Vikings wide receiver, I'm matching up against Packers DB. I love that it says DB. Jaire Alexander, who was injured in last year's game at Lambeau. Quote, honestly, I don't really care about the matchup. I feel like he cares a lot more than I do. That is a complete own. Like, Jefferson is so good at just like the subtle. It's not even like he's trying to be snarky. He's just laying out facts, and they're just savage. They're great. Seaford ESPN, who's not called Gershman. Jefferson knows Alexander will try to get into his head, as he did try in 2022 by mocking the gritty dance. Jefferson, he likes to do that stuff to get inside someone's head. I'm not really tripping on that. I'm going to just get my gritty in his end zone. Phrasing, but also that's absolutely right. Like, I think Jaire grittied on 2nd and 10 in the first quarter, but Jefferson's gonna be scoring touchdowns, so no big deal there. Also, like I said, hey Jaire, if you're so good, cover him one-on-one. No safety help. This we'll see. And not only is Jaire going to be reunited with his father, Justin Jefferson, but also with his cool uncle in Jordan Addison. Kramer Strib. Jordan Addison said he's good to go and will play Sunday in Green Bay. He said he suffered a similar sprain on September 8th to the high ankle sprain he suffered in Cleveland in August. Now, the Cleveland one was left ankle and the Giants one was the right ankle. So both ankles hopefully healed up and ready to go. And even if and when he does return on Sunday, I mean, Jalen Speedy Neller has been so damn good. He's been money. He and Sam Darnold have clear chemistry. Touchdown in each of the first 3 games. Like, he still needs work. And so it's a good problem to have. A lot of mouths to feed in that Vikings receiver room. So hopefully Addison will be good to go. Also, hopefully good to go soon, is Dalton Risner. Come on up for the Risner. Kramer again. Dalton Risner in the weight room. Have you seen the weight room? During practice, he is eligible to return from injured reserve next week, sidelined since last month due to a back injury. And if you ever had back issues, we've had a couple intermittently. Like they suck. They are terrible. Now there is some concern too. So if Risner has had that back issue for a couple of months, I mean, you can't really do a lot. Like, you're literally flat out on your back. So strength training, cardio, all that stuff may be, not up to snuff at this point in time. But hopefully that back is good to go because, I mean, Ed Ingram, he is a competent run blocker, and he's one of the reasons why the Vikings are able to run the ball so well. But pass protection-wise, it just hasn't come about. And I don't think it's one-on-one skill. I think part of it is communication, too. Garrett Bradbury also struggling a little bit as well. But Risner coming back will be very good, not only to have options as well as depth on the interior offensive line. Also, speaking of depth in the future, so the Vikings go too deep at quarterback right now. J.J. McCarthy, who I know that Jaden Daniels just blew up, but I still think J.J. McCarthy is going to be the best of the rookie quarterbacks of 2024. But that's the point. On injured reserve, full meniscus repair, healing up that knee, but he's still in the meeting room, still at practices, still soaking up all of that knowledge from the coaching staff. It's fantastic. And even though Slinging Sam Darnold, a.k.a. America's quarterback, is looking very good right now, J.J. McCarthy still looks like the future. Purple persuasion, go. Regarding the future of quarterback Sam Darnold, the Vikings still think the world of J.J. McCarthy. To me, nothing has changed when looking at 2025, per Darren Duke-Wolfson on Score North. Wolfson continues, barring a Super Bowl win, I still think this is J.J. McCarthy's team in 2025, which it'd be a good problem to have. Like, Sam Darnold wins the Super Bowl, and now it's like, do we move on like Trent Dilfer? Although for the 2002 Ravens, but I feel like Darnold's going to play just slightly better than Trent Dilfer. But it is a good problem to have. And I think right now it's probably 65-35 that Darnold is back in some capacity next year. I think that the compromise would be like a 2-year extension, decent money, couple void years to thin out that cap it. Now, I understand that the best competitive advantage is your starting quarterback on his rookie deal. But the Vikings do have cap space over the next couple of years, estimated $76 million in cap space in 2025. So, and also, what have we been looking for? We've been looking for a franchise quarterback who can win games and who's relatively young. And Darnold's only 27. Like, Darnold, as we said, he's younger than Mahomes and Burrow and Josh Allen, right? So even though, yes, McCarthy, he's fantastic. What if Darnold's already fantastic? And you move on from him, he goes somewhere else, continues the ball out. Well, maybe not, because I think the Vikings' infrastructure here is pretty damn fantastic, as Kevin O'Connell talked about on Rich Eisen show, but I don't know. We'll see. Like we said, still early, but definitely a good problem to have. Speaking of a good problem to have, so Slinging Sam Darnold and Dennis from Always Sunny, a.k.a. Dan Orlovsky of the 11-yard end zones on ESPN. So I don't like when ESPN's calling a spade and objectively giving the Vikings credit. It makes me itchy. But he did his top 5 quarterbacks in the NFL right now. Josh Allen, can't make out that second name. They got Sam Darnold, or it could be Tam Darrell. Kyler Murray and Geno Smith. So you can go by on name recognition all you want. You could be like, blah, 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 Joe Burrow, blah, 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 Justin Herbert, blah, 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 whatever. But no. I mean, objectively, take the name off the jersey. Sam Darnold is balling out, I know, and yes, he is playing like a top 5 quarterback. Now, here's the thing too: he doesn't have to do that. Like, if he plays like a top 10 quarterback, given the weapons, given the running game, given the defense, that's all that it takes. So Sam Darnold right now is playing fantastic, and don't want to take that away from him. But also, I mean, the bar for him is pretty low, because I do think that to a degree this offense is turnkey. But we'll see. And one of the reasons why this offense is so damn turnkey and quarterback proof is Kevin freaking O'Connell, right? Vikes fan page. People close to Vikings head coach Kevin O'Connell wonder why he hasn't received an extension. Darren Dugan-Wolfson mentioned on Score North. Wolfson said that if you talk to people in Egan, you aren't going to find anyone to say a bad word about Kevin O'Connell, and players love playing for him. That's the whole thing. Who do you want to lead your franchise going forward? Kevin O'Connell and Kwesi adofo-mensah. So get it done, because as the season progresses, the price of the brick is only going up, right? I know that ownership said we're not negotiating during the season, but they're heading into the final year of their respective deals, both Kwesi and Kevin O'Connell. Who else do you want? I mean, Kwesi has stocked this roster with depth and talent. Kevin O'Connell is coaching his balls off right now. Brian Flores is doing damn things well. Pay Flores too. And guess what? There isn't a franchise tag for head coaches. So if Ken O'Connell doesn't get an extension, he may take it as like, aight, bet. And even though it's bad for a head coach to enter as a lame duck with 1 year remaining on his deal, because maybe the players tune him out, I don't think they do that. And the specter of O'Connell playing out his deal, and then 2026, like 3/4, 4/5 of the league would be willing to back up the Brinks truck for Kevin O'Connell. So that's his leverage there. So I honestly think the Vikings just take this distraction off the plate. Like, what else do you need to see? The roster is good to go. The infrastructure, the coaching is fantastic. And you want these men to lead your team for the foreseeable future, right? So get an extension done now before the Vikings win a Super Bowl, and then it costs you like twice as much. That's how I roll, man. But Packers, week. We put a prediction out in the game preview. I'm feeling pretty good. And it's weird to feel confident, right? But also, if you feel confident, that's when you lose 55-10. I don't know, man. But everything this team does is replicable. The defense is great. Physical in the trenches, can run the ball. Sam Darnold's playing out of his mind. Justin freaking Jefferson is him. So I think we're going to be good to go. But that's it. Friday Vikings news dump. You guys are the best. You know what to do. Skull production value.